want you guys, you got to stand up front so the class can see you, line up. Okay. Now, in the spirit of the election, the recent election, we are a democratic state, right? So we are going to vote. We're going to conduct a small vote here. Now, you guys as a class are going to vote on who you trust the most out of these beautiful young people standing up here, okay? All right, come on, Will. You got to come up front. Everybody line up front. All right. By a raise of hands, who trusts Samantha? Oh, switch her there. Samantha. Raise your hand if you trust Samantha. Nobody trusts Samantha. Oh, that's not fair. Okay, how many of you trust Sarah? Raise your hands nice and high.
Thank you.
Okay. How many of you trust Will? And what does it say your name again? Brandon. How many of you trust Brandon? 3. And so both Brandon, right? Is your name Brandon? Jared. I'm sorry. How many of you trust Jared? Oh, I think Jared might have it. Yeah. All right. I think Jared is our winner here. Okay. All right. Hey, I'm not telling you what you're playing for. Okay. So now that you guys have voted that you trust Jared, okay, he is going to be your representative. He's going to represent all of you guys once you get out on your own. You're out there in the workforce trying to make it, okay? So in spirit of that, I'm Jared's employer, and I'm going to pay him $2,400 for the month for working for me, okay? So here you go. You got $2,400, all right? Don't spend it all in one place. Now, how many of you guys think he could live off of that for 1 month? $2,400, $2,400. Raise your hand nice and high. You think he could live off that? So about half of you. Okay, so we're going to find out. Now, what kind of things, when you live out on your own, do you have to pay for? Don't do anything with that just yet. Raise your hand. What kind of things do you have to pay for? Rent? Food? What'd you say back there? Oh, okay. Gas? Anybody else? Electric, so BG&E bill, okay. Phone company. Insurance, okay. All right, let's start with rent, okay? So you want a nice place to live. Let's say he gets 1-bedroom apartment. It's just Jared by himself for now. So he gets a 1-bedroom apartment. About how much do you think that's going to cost on average per month? 1 bedroom. $800? No. 500? Anybody else? 700? What'd you say? 300? Okay, so we have a range, $300 to $800. Okay. Well, we're going to find out. Who did I make the landlord? I think I made Will the landlord, right? Are you the landlord?
Yeah.
Okay, so Will is his landlord. Will, I want you to read what's on the back of that card.
Can't read.
Yes, you can.
You live in a reasonably priced 1-bedroom apartment. This monthly rent is $800.
So his monthly rent is $800. So Jared, you got to pay your rent this month, $800. So somebody did say 800. I think you said 800. So that was a good guess. Now that's the average. That's not saying that everywhere you live is going to be $800, but that's a basic average apartment in Maryland. Okay. So what was the other things that we talked about that he has to pay for other than rent?
He's got to pay for his car.
Car. That's important. How many of you think you want a car? You want to drive around, right? Now, what kind of cars do you guys want? A Lamborghini. Okay. Corvette. I heard somebody say Cadillac, Ferrari, Infiniti. Those are all very nice cars. So how much do you think you're going to pay per month for the car that you have?
If it's a sports car, $3,000.
I'm sorry, say it a little louder.
If it's a sports car, around $1,000.
A sports car around $1,000. Okay. Anybody else? How much do you think you're going to pay for your Lamborghini? Was it that you said?
Too much.
Too much? Okay, what about the Infiniti? How much do you think you're going to pay per month for that?
Like $325.
$325 per month for the car. Anybody else? Okay, so we have $325, we have $1,000. Who did I make the banker? All right. Oops.
Y'all didn't see that. You drive a reasonably priced conservative car. Your monthly car payment is $300.
Okay, so the monthly car payment is $300. Now that is a basic, nice, average car, probably like a Honda Civic, something around those lines, okay? Hey, I drove a Honda Civic, my first car. Actually, my second car. My first car was a little putt-putt that shook when you hit 65. Then my parents got me. But my first car that I paid for myself was actually a Honda Civic. But yeah, so that's like the average, probably about $300 per month. Okay. So we've paid for a place to live, right? And we've paid for a vehicle. What are some other things that we have? Insurance, right? Because you can't drive your car without insurance. How much do you guys think you're going to pay in insurance per month? $250. Say it a little louder. $1,600 per month. Okay, $1,600 per month, $250. Anybody else? $700 per month. Okay. All right. Who's the insurance agent? Brandon, right? All right.
The cost of gas, insurance, routine maintenance, and any repairs on your car is approximately $450 per month.
Approximately $450 per month for insurance. Okay. I know his money's getting a little low, right? Okay. So now we have the house or the apartment, the car. We've paid for insurance on the car. What else are we missing? Somebody mentioned it earlier. Before we buy food, we do utilities, right? BG&E, because you don't want to sit in a dark, cold apartment, right? Exactly. Okay. So how much do you think you're going to pay per month for BG&E? About $3-something, $350, $200. Okay. $800. Depending on your house, you might pay $800. Okay. So who did I make the utility? Okay.
Your gas and electric bill and phone bill combined each month is $250.
$250. Now that is probably maybe even on the lower end, okay? So that's for a one bedroom on average $250. Now, Jared has paid all these bills. How much does he have left? Let's see. $600. How many of you think, wow, I still have $600 left?
Not really.
Not, why not?
You gotta buy food.
We haven't eaten anything. We haven't eaten anything, right? No food. Okay, so how much do you guys think that he needs to pay for food per month? 200? 100? $100? 150? Because it's just himself? Okay. Now, what if I said, I think, even though it's just him, he might need like $400 for food?
Because he could have like
That's a lot?
GP too.
Everybody think that's a lot? $400 for a whole month?
Yeah, but you don't get a lot.
No? Okay. So, all right, we're gonna see. How many people think $400 is too much? Raise your hand. Too much. Okay. $400 is enough. Raise your hand. Okay. Now we're gonna find out. Anybody have a calculator out there? All you studious people, I'm sure somebody has a calculator. All right. He has a calculator. Matt, right? So Matt is going to calculate for me, because we're going to find out if $400 is enough. How much is $400 per day? Like if I give you $400 for the month, how much is that per day? So there's, what, 30 days in a month? $13. So how many of you think, now that I broke it down per day, $13 per day will give you $400 per month? So now, raise your hand if you think $400. I could deal with $400. Raise your hand. So some of you that thought $400 wasn't enough, are you rethinking that maybe a little bit? $13 per day, even if it's just him. Whether he goes to the grocery store, if he wants to eat out with his friends. So about $400. So I'm going to be the grocer. So you're going to pay me $400 to buy all your groceries and all your food for the month. All right. So now how much do you have left? $200. How many of you think that's still pretty good?
No, that's for gas.
It's for gas. Okay. A little bit. All right. So he's left with $200, and that's for anything else, because we covered what? The basic stuff, right? So there's still, how many of you have cell phones or cable? Okay, the internet, you want to be on the computer, so all those are extra costs.